Mr. Ricky Rojas.
Yes.
So good to see you.
Thank you so much.
I
for
love when
having
you
me.
are knowing that you're over at the Moulin Rouge,
Yeah.
Santiago, the OG.
I am back.
Yeah, back doing what you do.
Yes.
This is a show that you created,
Yeah.
which is an exciting luxury for an actor, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's been a part of your life for 8 years now?
Yeah. Since 2018. 2018.
And this is your fourth, I counted it. This is your
I
fourth
think
run.
fourth. We could go through it.
Yeah.
2018, but let's see. That'll probably take
I
too
mean,
long.
there was a pandemic. There
yeah.
was,
that feels like a whole other life. I got stuck here over the pandemic for like 3 months. So.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So let's talk through this a little bit. I know this is a movie like myself that you really loved and you really wanted it to become a musical.
Yeah.
So tell me about the moment that you first found out that you would be Santiago on Broadway. You were you had a West End career at that point.
Yeah. So I was living in London at the time. And I'd been there for many years doing different shows. And an audition came through. My agent sent it through. And it was for Moulin Rouge. And I was like, I've been waiting for this forever.
Yeah.
Because obviously being Australian, I was a big fan of the film. I had loads of mates in the film.
You were living in Australia when they filmed
Yes.
it? Did you audition for the film?
No, I didn't.
Okay. But you had friends in it?
I had loads of friends in it.
Okay.
And so the audition came through. And I was reading through it. And it was like it's opening in New York. I was like,
I live in London.
I live in London. That's going to be a problem. The commute's going to be long. So I spoke to my wife and Nat, and she was like, listen, just go for it. You're probably not going to get it anyway, right? So much faith, my dear wife, right? So I went for it, and the rest is history. Yeah, I put a self-tape down in London, and then they flew me over to New York. I did a workshop day with the creative team. That's where I met Justin Levine and Alex Timbers and... did I meet Sonia? Yes, I did meet Sonia, and
seems like she would have to give you the thumbs up.
Yeah, so it was a full workshop day. Trying different stuff, learning the material, and then I stayed overnight and did the final.
What about Robin Herder, your original Nini?
Yes.
At what point you guys had incredible chemistry when the show first opened?
Yeah, which is like a roll of the dice. Like you never know if you're gonna get along, if you're gonna hate each other, if you're gonna butt heads. Because everyone's done shows that you don't get along with everyone.
Right.
But our cast was weird. Like we were all just ready to work and ready to get on with it. And I think that work ethic just bonded us, from the beginning.
Talk about that process, that original workshop, because I feel like it's kind of, for me, it's gone down in history as like you really all came together and made something so magical.
Yeah. Well, actually, I wasn't part of the workshop.
Okay.
So I did miss out.
Okay. So you didn't do the first one.
Yeah. So I'm still a bit hurt about that.
Okay.
But I did join the company with Danny Burstein, actually.
Okay.
I had dinner with him last night. He sends his best.
Oh, I adore him.
I love him. But I joined with him in Boston.
Okay.
And like the whole process was just amazing. It was everyone in the room wasn't scared of looking stupid, right? And I think that's super, super important when you're creating something, because there's no pretense. There's no, we need to get everything right. It's like, let's try stuff. Let's play,
So you knew, at what point did you know that this would become not a screen to stage disappointment, but a screen to stage phenomenon? It won Best Musical. I mean, it's a Broadway, part of the Broadway landmark. It's part of the Broadway landscape now.
Yeah, we kind of knew. I mean, like, I kind of knew when I walked into the theater the first time in Boston at the Colonial. It's just seeing the set.
But the set, oh my God. I mean, the first time I saw the set, I couldn't believe it.
It made me feel all types of emotions. Like I felt like throwing up. I felt like laughing. It was just amazing, right? And, being in a rehearsal room for like the 6 weeks that we were in, or 8, I can't remember how long it was. We're rehearsing it and everyone's really in it, taking the piece seriously, but not themselves too seriously, which is great. And then to have it in front of an audience and then get the audience reaction, we were like, this is going to work. But it's like, it was weird because they were laughing in different points that we didn't know they were going to laugh.
Yeah.
So we were like, we can't take this that seriously, but it is serious. So there was a fine line, and that really helped us find the gauge.
Yeah. So, what do you love about this guy, Santiago, and what do you keep getting from it when you return to it? Is it like a new discovery each time? Does he fill a certain need in your life?
Yeah,
What do you
well,
get from it?
I feel like it's like coming home every time I put on the shoes and the jacket,
Yeah.
and you know, it's,
Great costume.
oh, I love it. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. It's, I feel it's like coming home because a lot of me is in it. A lot of my dad is in it, right? Because I've been mimicking my dad's accent and
Oh wow.
he's just his mannerisms since I was very little. So there's a lot of him in it.
Okay.
So I think that's why I kind of just gravitate to it, and I always love doing the part so much. You know, and it does change, it does evolve, because you know everyone that he plays around changes. Everyone's rendition, everyone's Christian's different, everyone's Satine is different. Whoever comes into the part, so you kind of have to go with it. You can't be too stuck in your ways, and the dynamics change, and that's what's fun about it. You know.
Did your dad get to see it?
Oh yeah.
And did he say like, "Oh, you're doing me up there"?
Yeah, he's like, I love it, mate. Beautiful, mate. The way you move is bloody perfect. Like, it's literally
Yeah,
you.
because I'm you.
Because I'm you. Which means you're very modest. No.
So talk about the company and the current company and what it's like. You know, when you're in something from the beginning, you know, everyone obviously has this intense commitment to building the show and launching the show.
Yeah.
And now people get cast in a big hit musical, Moulin Rouge. And what is it like sort of every time I've gone back to see it, the fire is there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really, whoever's keeping that company, it's very elevated all the time. I can't believe that, you know, that Gaga number happens every night.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that actually happens every night in a building in New York City, and people can experience that every night because it's incredible.
Special. Yeah.
What is it like coming in and meeting new cast members? And are there any original cast members?
Yeah,
still
there are. Bahia Hiba's still in it. Jay Magis. I think he's left and come back. He's done he's done me, so he's the baby doll. So he's still in it. So it's
What about the kids? The kids who joined?
It's hard not to, especially in that show. It's hard not to give everything, because it's written for you to give everything. You know what I mean? Like the music, like it needs it. It warrants it. You can't do the show unless you're pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And every night, everyone's out there smashing it, you know?
Yeah, smashing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just smashing it.
Yeah.
Smashing it 8 times a week.
Yeah.
That's Moulin Rouge.
Absolutely. And Sam, daughter mate, who's my Nini at the moment, she's fantastic. She was the original Australian Nini. And so she's, I think, you know, she's done it. She did it like 2 or 3 years in Australia and then 1 year here. So she's, you know, proper seasoned, and she gives it as much as I do, which is great.
How do you prepare for the return engagements? Is there any sort of like building? Because you take these breaks from the show and you're living in France with your wife and teenage son.
Yeah.
So how do you have to prepare yourself for these return engagements?
That's the fear. That's the fear. It's like as soon as I accept that I'm coming back, or that, you know, we tie up a contract or whatever, then it comes with like a big like baseball bat. That's the show. And if you don't get ready for it, it's going to hit you really hard, right? So running 3 miles a day, you know, and start core workout you know, as early as I can. But nothing can prepare you for the show. That's the thing. It's like no matter how hard you try, you'll do one show and your body will still be asking for help.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit older now. You know, I started the show when I was 38 in rehearsal. I turned 39 in rehearsals. And, you know, I'm 47 this year. So, yeah. I opened the show on last Thursday.
Okay.
And on Friday, my back woke me up and was like, hey, what do you think you're doing? I was like, it's fine. Just sit back. It's like, no, but what are you actually doing? And now it's like, it's playing ball, but yeah.
Before Santiago became your most famous role, I think your most famous role was something from a movie that I loved when I was a kid. I was obsessed with La Bamba when I was a kid.
Oh my God,
and
me too.
You did a lot of Richie Valens in Buddy the Buddy Holly story, right?
That's right, I did. And today's February 3rd, the day they died.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
Buddy,
Wow, and that's like that,
Bopper and Richie all died
and
today.
that stays with you.
Yeah,
like
February 3rd,
you wake up on February
1959.
3rd, and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
man.
that show changed my life as well. That was my first musical in Australia. And I got to sing La Bamba every day, which was great. I was obsessed with the film. Like you
So,
said.
so I've been thinking about this all morning before seeing you, and so I've had the song in my head, and I was actually listening to it. Can you just give me a taste of a bada bada? Can you just?
Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba. I need the maracas. Necesito una poca de gracia.
So good,
Still love that song.
so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah,
know.
it's great.
I know. And you had a baby face. Richie Valens had
did.
a really lovely baby
I did
face.
have a baby face.
So that actually reminds me. So I know that your wife was not originally a fan of this Santiago.
Oh.
So is it gone when you're not on Broadway? And is there?
Oh, but
Do you have to regrow it? Is there? Do you figure out how long that takes, or do you just live with it now?
well, I live with it now.
Okay, and she lives with it.
She lives with it. I've accepted it because I think it was the first time I got back. I got rid of it.
Uh-huh.
And I looked like a rat.
I don't believe
I had no
that.
chin. I was like, who is this person? I was like, oh my, I was every time I was like, I got headshots done as well. You never get to see them. And I would show my friends, I was like, look, that's me without a beard. And they were like, don't do that again. Even my dad was like, oh no, you must leave it. He was like, you have to leave it. I was like, I'll leave it.
Okay, so it's just who you are.
It's just part of me now.
Okay, it's
You
good.
know? It's good for casting as well. You know, it's hard to regrow.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
know,
it
takes a
looks
bit.
very much a part of your face at this
Thank
point.
you. It's a little bit more
Lived
salt
in.
and pepper than I would
Lived
like.
in.
But you know, maybe some Just for Men later on.
What about, you mentioned Danny Burstein. What about the original? One thing I really loved during your early runs was seeing all you guys on social media, sort
Yeah.
of backstage. It was a
Yeah.
great camaraderie, especially among the guys. What is it like having those friendships and people, go on, Aaron Tveit is currently in chess. And
Yeah, well,
Danny's doing a beautiful play on Broadway, Marjorie Prime.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, it's wonderful to see them all succeed and be doing other wonderful stuff. But we're all still in touch.
Uh-huh.
I had dinner with Danny last night. He sends his best. And I caught up with Aaron on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I dropped by the theatre and said hi. Actually, I did some concerts with Aaron last year
Oh, cool.
when he was doing some concerts at the Palladium in
Yeah.
London. He asked me to along to have a sing, so I did that.
Yeah, the Broadway friendships are strong, especially
Yeah.
when you go through birthing a new musical. I mean, it's and COVID.
Yeah,
and,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Are there other dream parts?
Well, yeah, there are.
I just have to tell you, I found an old interview with you when you were back in London, and you said one of your dream roles, if we could gender bend it, was Roxy Hart. And Robin Herder is a pretty fantastic Velma Kelly. I don't know. I can't stop
Wow.
thinking about it. What would that something you would consider doing?
I mean, get Robin on the phone. Let's sell it. Let's sell it. I'm down for it.
That'd be a reunion no one ever saw coming.
Mate, it would sell tickets. It would sell. I'd love it.
Hey, the chemistry was real there.
I'd love it. And I love her. Yeah.
But do you dream of like other Broadway things? You also make your own music. I feel
Yeah,
like you
I
have
do.
A very full creative life.
Yeah, there are some shows out there that I love. Hadestown's wonderful. I love the music.
Yeah.
I'd love to play Hermes one day.
That'd be great.
I'd love to do Chicago. All jokes aside, I'd love to play Billy one day too.
Yeah.
But I'm very much interested in creating new material.
Yeah.
I had the great pleasure of doing working with Casey Niccolo in London.
Oh, great.
For a few months last year. We did. He directed. It was a new musical based on the film 50 First Dates,
Oh, right.
the Adam Sandler and
Yes,
Drew Barrymore film.
yes, yes.
So we did that in London.
Yes, I heard
And-
great things about that.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Real heart, really great process. He's such a pleasure to work for, and we built it from the bottom up.
Yeah. Well, you know how to do that.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Well, for now, I'm so thrilled you're back at the Moulin Rouge at Santiago. So
Me
good
too.
to see you as
Yeah,
always.
Thank you for having me.